Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. Hope you're all well on this fine afternoon. It's 13:42 on a Saturday afternoon. Welcome to all of you. Hope you're all well. We're just going to give it a couple of moments to get everybody in and seated and ready, and we'll begin. This is part of a three-part event. I'm going to talk to you now live on my investor channel for about 12, 13 minutes. That's it. And then we're going to go over to the party channel. On the party channel, there's a very special reason why we're going to go there. And then there's going to be a 35-minute conversation, live Q&A. And then we're going to go into a very special world premiere of a pre-recorded video. So that's what's about to happen. It's a three-part event. Guys, thank you for joining me. Come on into the chat and say hello so I can see who you are. I'm looking in the chat now to see who's with me. I believe we are at a momentous moment in history. I believe that we are going to make a lot of money for ourselves, and we're also about to make millions of dollars for others. I'm going to do all the work on that, and I'll talk to you about that in the upcoming event on the party channel in about 20 minutes. But I do believe that we're about to hit an explosion on the stock market upward. I do think that we're going to get an end to the war in Europe with Ukraine. All of a sudden, it's just going to happen. From the people that I am talking to and the history I've studied all my life, everything would dictate for a surprise end to the war in Ukraine. First of all, that's a wonderful thing for humanity, but also it's an amazing event for us as investors on the stock market. It will immediately trigger a 5 to 10% rally on the stock market because remember, Ukraine is the food basket of the world. And a lot of wheat comes out of Ukraine and other commodities that the world uses. So we'll get an immediate boost with that. So look out for that. I am fully investing, believing that's going to happen. It's why I'm all in on margin, why I'm all in on my cash. I've got everything invested. And AI is going to lead that revolution, okay? We're going to get a lot of tech stock now rotating back. The biggest part of the S&P is growing again. And we're going to get a 3x by the end of the decade. So, very excited about that. Let me see who's with me. Trading or investing, Malia, trading or investing, I do both. Long time, but right now I'm a long-term investor because I believe why scramble around for the crumbs that fall off the table when you can own the businesses on the table. I'm loading up, buying all the S&P. I'm 100% in the S&P. And I'm all in on margin, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm not selling anything for at least 5 years. Is NVIDIA going to hit $300? No, it's going to hit $200 within 12 months, and probably around the 150 by the time we get to the earnings next week, which we're going to cover. So welcome to all of you. Just waiting for everyone to join me. I did start a couple of minutes early. For those of you that have just tuned in, please tap the like button and share this out. It's part one of a three-part major event. Okay, I'm going to be with you now for another sort of 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to end this broadcast and go over to my party channel, and the link is pinned to the top of this chat. I'll also give it to you now in the chat. Here it comes, just so you've got it again. Here it is. This is the main event. There you go. Okay, you've got that in the chat. I've just posted that. That's where we're going to be in a few minutes' time for the main event, where I'm going to talk in much more detail about the things that I'm saying now, but also how I'm going to raise money for your favorite charities, millions of dollars. And this is so important because I believe, and I've always lived like this, if you give to others, the money that you have will take care of itself. Okay, so I'm going to do all the work, but we are forming a Lucasade army. So wherever you go online, if you're on Instagram or X or commenting here, start to use the hashtag Lucasades, which is uppercase so L-U-C, uppercase A-D-E-S, Lucasades. We are forming an army, and we're going to do great work. We're going to raise millions of dollars for charity. We're all going to make money on our investments. My members are all making money now just by simply owning the S&P and buying the macro dips. That's the key buying the macro dips, because when people say to you you can only make 10 or 13% on the S&P, they're missing the fact that you can buy macro condition dips like we had last week when I bought down, doubled up on everything and bought a 4% drop. So it doesn't just go back 4%, it goes back to 4% and then does its 13% on top. So there's 17% right there. And because AI holds the biggest part of the S&P, we're going to get that rally. So what we're going to do, it's part of this is part of a three-part event. We've got about 9 minutes to go. I'm going to end this mainstream, and then I'm going to go over to the party channel, and we're going to do some prices and predictions for the upcoming week. I'm also going to give you the links to Sensei's show on Sunday, where he will do all the charts for you, preparing for Monday morning's opening bell. So you want that. And then after that half an hour conversation, live Q&A, we're then going to go into a special event, which is all part of the Lucasades making $1 million for themselves, but also their favorite charities as well. Let me read some of the questions. Big boy, where is the explosion? Which stocks? AI. AI is going to do that. People rotated out of it, bought the Russell, the junk, and now they're going back in again. If you've seen my portfolio, you will know I started with $5,000. I'm now at $108,000 live on the show. You've seen me do it every day. I've never shorted any stock. I've never done options. I'm just buying the S&P and buying macro condition drops. Very, very straightforward, very simple. That's all I'm doing. It's really easy to make money. The hard part is to keep it. Here he is, one of our charities that we're going to support. Development Alert Uganda, one of our friends here. Zach, please do make sure that you've done the steps I asked you yesterday. I'm going to explain all of this in much more detail on the party channel in about 9 minutes time from now. If you want to join us for that, the link's in the chat. If you're on the homepage of this channel, you'll see Martyn Lucas on music channel, which is our party channel, on the homepage, and you can come and join us when we can explain all this in much more detail. Emin, is space intrinsic value is 675. Really? Well, Ermin, it's very, very important for you to understand that intrinsic value on its own is not enough. People often use the intrinsic valuation as a sign to buy the stock. Intrinsic valuations are wrong if you use them on their own. It's a very simple way of looking at stocks. People do it all the time. They post it on Reddit, which is the worst place to go, by the way, for financial information. And they go, the intrinsic value is this. And we remember Fisker had an intrinsic value of $400 plus, and it went bankrupt. So be very, very careful in just reading intrinsic values. You have to read the balance sheets, the fundamentals, which is why I go live every day answering all those questions. So be careful of that. Big boy, Martin, a little strange, stick advice, then you entertainer, not judging, but app good. Big boy, I don't really understand your question, what you mean by that. Chasm28, nice to meet you every day. From Jordan. Oh, wonderful. Lovely to have you here. If you become a member of our channel, you were the first person to fly the flag for Jordan. I've actually stood outside Petra, sung in Jordanian desert, doing Pavarotti, Nessun Dorma. Beautiful place, and Petra is a gorgeous thing to go and visit. So lovely to have you here from Jordan. Let me scroll down the comments that I might have missed. Henrik is here from Denmark. How are you, Henrik? Jose Aguila is here. Who else have we got here? Come into the chat. Tanpek Hong as well. Hello to you. Hey, Martin. Nice to see you again. It's a Saturday afternoon. We're just having a quick cup of tea. Cheers to all the Lucasades. By the way, if you want one of my mugs, you can get these from the shop, martynlucas.com. Cheers. Thank you very much. I've also got a bit of water to rinse it down. There you go. One of my beer glasses. Okay. So we've got just 7 minutes to go before the main event starts. And then we're going to go through into much more detail about all of this and what we're going to do as an army together to make money for ourselves, but also make money for others. I believe if you take care of others, money comes back to you. That's what's always happened to me. I left home at 16, and I have always been able to make money and be successful just by giving to others. Never concerned about what I need. Money always comes back to you. So we're going to explain that in detail in a minute. What's the best ETF? What's the best ETF? I've just been asked that by Francisco R. Well, that really depends on what is your interest. And what is your aim? I need to know what your aims are. For me, it's to make $1 million in 6 years live on the show, starting with just $5,000, and I'm already at 108. So it's going to be very, very easy for me to make $1 million now. The favorite ETF will depend what you're interested in, what your goals are, what your targets are, what your risk position is like, how you feel about risk and your tolerance to risk. So I'd need to know more details. Join me live and I'll answer on a main show during the week, and I'll happily go into that in more detail. Ermin, I hope and predict that you will be the next Roaring Kitty. You hope? I certainly don't. Roaring Kitty is a terrible person. He's here for himself. I don't ever think about myself. I'm here to serve you. This is my day off, and I'm here just to help out people. I'm not Roaring Kitty at all. The information that Roaring Kitty spread was self-indulgent. It wasn't true. It wasn't all accurate. It was for himself, his own gain. I can certainly make money for all of us here, and you can make money for yourselves. We can make money for charity, but we can do it the right way. Honestly, we don't need to do all the nonsense and the pretend and the dressing up and silly nonsense of Roaring Kitty. We're going to do a much better job just by being real and honest. So I hope I'm not like Roaring Kitty. When are you planning on exiting the market? I am not planning on exiting the market. My 5,000, which is now 108, will be $1 million within 6 years, 100% live on the show. And I will then simply start to go into more high-paying dividend stocks, moving it into trust, so I won't be paying tax. And I'll continue working on YouTube. I will never retire. And probably a few years after that, my $1 million will be $2 million, and I'll just be living on dividends at that stage. I will never exit the stock market because I want to own these businesses and then pass them on to charity when I pass on. Sanity W, you have an anticipation of an oncoming recession. No, there's going to be no recession at all. Those that are spreading information about recession are trying to sell videos. There isn't going to be a recession. There is going to be an end to the war in Ukraine, and the market, the S&P, is going to 3x by the end of the decade. Sana, you planning on holding through the bear market? There is no bear market. We are in a bull market now. Everything about it has been a bull market for the last year and a half, 18 months. Interest rates will come down in September. I said it 18 months ago. At the summit of 24, rates would come down, and they will. Chasm 28, what about NVIDIA after earnings? NVIDIA after earnings, it's going to go to $150. It's going to be $200 within 12 months. I've got no doubt about that at all. And then it can go a lot higher from there. But we can't predict out further than that. Those that are guessing, trying to get views on YouTube channels. I'm not interested in that. I'm only interested in telling you the truth, not to try to sell more videos and more hype. Okay? Ermin, I wrote that because I was thinking Roaring is a good person. I don't know reality. Sorry, Roaring Kitty broke all the laws. He was a convicted a criminal, if you like. Basically, what he did, he was a licensed stockbroker who manipulated his position and influenced the market. That's against the law. He faced a lot of penalties for doing that, and everything that he's done has been to his self-indulgent benefit and gain. It's not been there to help people. It was never there to support people. It was under the guise of stuffing it to Wall Street and stuffing it and helping the little man. That was his way, which was appeasing to the lowest common denominator. I actually do the very opposite. I have friends who are millionaires and billionaires. I want to make friends with CEOs. I want to make friends with those on Wall Street because I want to know what's going on and associate myself with successful people and then share that with my viewers. Not pretend I'm I'm like one of the stupid, ignorant people at the bottom and I'm trying to stuff it to Wall Street. There couldn't be anything further from the truth. He was a Wall Street broker himself. The whole thing was a complete and load of nonsense. And people who were desperate to make money followed him, thinking he was some great person. A bit like Omar a few weeks ago, a convicted gambler, took everybody down the toilet, losing all their money on FFIE for his self-indulgence. Millions of followers, same as Roaring Kitty. I will never do that, and I won't ever be that big either, because I won't use those tricks to gain that momentum. Right, okay, now we're about to start our main event on the party channel. This was just an introduction to the main event. So what I'm going to do now is give everybody the link. We're going to go over now to my party channel, Martyn Lucas Music, which is on the home page of this channel. If you stay right where you are, it'll automatically take you there. And we've got half an hour together to discuss what we're going to do, how we're going to make money, and how we're going to make money for others. And how we make money for others will give us our returns. It's very, very important that. Always take care of others first, and the money will come back to you. It's easy to make money. The hard part is to keep it. And I'm going to show exactly how we're going to do it and how all of you are going to get money for the things that you care about as well. Very, very easy. So we're about to end this broadcast. Let me give you the link in the chat. Here is the main event. I'll give it to you. It's already in the chat, but I'll give it to you again. Let me just do it now. Okay, and I've got some other important things to give to you. Oops, will that paste? No, hang on, I've got to do this. Click that. Copy link. Okay, let me do this again. And here we go. Let me drop it in there now. Paste. All right, that's where we're going to be right now. So I'm going to end this stream. It'll automatically take you over. If you tap the like and all that stuff, it'll automatically take you over to where we're going to go now. It's on the homepage of this channel. You'll find Martyn Lucas Music. We've got half an hour together to go into detail of how we're going to do this. And I hope you've all tapped the like and subscribed. Let me end the stream and see you on the party channel, where we're going to go into much more detail, answer much more questions, and be very specific on how we're going to achieve millions of dollars for charity, money for you, and we're all going to be successful together, all part of the Lucas Aid Army. All right, see you over on the party channel right now. Bye-bye for now.